Hello, I'm the Bunny Man,
And I'm Crazy Susie.
and we are in the Eyes of Terror. Your weekly news review running on. No, we are your weekly horror movie review.
You've been watching too much YouTube.
I really have. Of course!
Stop!
All the memes!
Okay. This is our high school dance to you drop series, and we're on number 4, which is Hello, Mary Lou, Prom Night 2. Oh, I stole it from you.
Oh, yes, you...
I read with that girl. I read with her. The Luna wants a cookie.
Yes. So... Hello, Mary Lou, Prom Night 2.
It is rated R, it is a horror thriller, and it's 1 hour and 37 minutes long. We found this on the YouTubes.
Yep. And is directed by Dr. Seuss. Henceforth the name.
It is from 1987, and it is given a score of 5.6 out of 10 on IMDb. The director is Bruce Pittman. The writer is Ron Oliver.
Also known as Dr. Seuss.
Dr. Seuss. The cast is Michael Ironside as Bill Nordham, Wendy Lyon as Vicky Carpenter, Louis Ferreira as Craig Nordham, Lisa
Schrag
as Mary Lou Maloney, Richard Manetti as Father Cooper, Terry Hawkes as Kelly Henenlotter, Brock Simpson as Josh, Beverly Hendry as Monica Waters, Beth Gondek as Jess Browning, Wendell Smith as Walt Carpenter, Judy
Mahabi
as
Virginia Carpenter.
And the rest of the list is on IMDb. If you would like the full comprehensive list,
It sounds like Brock
nobody
Simpson.
has that time for that.
It sounds like Brock Simpson's in the wrong movie. Like, just the name Brock Simpson, you're thinking of a big old beefy guy. Go, I'm Brock Simpson. Brock Simpson.
The storyline is when Hamilton High's prom queen of 1957, Mary Lou Maloney, is killed by her jilted boyfriend. She comes back for revenge 30 years later. Bill Nordham is now the principal of Hamilton High, and his son is about to attend the prom with Vicky Carpenter. However, she is possessed by Mary Lou Maloney after opening a trunk in the school's basement. Now Bill must face the horror he left behind in 1957.
Okay.
The movie's budget was between $1.5 and $2 million. For 1987, that is a big chunk of change.
It came out before Halloween on October 16th, 1987.
And it looks like the country origin was Canada.
Oh, Canada. All the movies are shot in your place.
Looks like it did pretty good on opening night, though.
Yeah. So, what are we drinking?
Well, I'm just having some sweet tea because I just took my medication and I can't have alcohol with it. So, no fun for me, unfortunately.
And I am drinking Shock Top Belgian White. It's actually a nice, light summer brew. And it's sort of bland, in my opinion. It's got some nice underhints and stuff, but it's got some nice little tones.
I feel like the depths of my soul are being stared at.
And Luna is having Buddy Biscuits. She's not drinking them, she's eating them. They are peanut buttery, gingerbread-like man. And she's very fond of these.
And if you don't give them to her when she wants, she will stare into the depths of your soul. I do not like my soul to be naked, but she makes it feel that way. So I very steadily and fast-like give her the Buddy Biscuits when she does that.
This batch, unfortunately, is darker than...
Yeah, they're quite dark, but she seems to not mind very much.
Okay, so let's get into the movie review.
This movie begins with some eerie music and shows you through the school.
It's your typical high school.
Through the halls and goes back to 1957. Mary Lou goes to church to confess her sins.
She doesn't really confess crap, other than she likes...
Well, she does.
Yeah.
She does say all the things that she's done, but then she says she doesn't regret any of it because she's naughty.
And then proceeds to put her phone number and get the confessional for a good time.
She uses her hooker red lipstick and says, for a good time, call such and such.
It's sort of hard to see, though, in the film.
So she tells the priest, after she writes, for a good time, call such and such, she confesses to the priest, I did this, and I've stressed out my parents, and I did this with this boy and this with that boy and yada 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 yada, and
I don't regret any of it.
I loved every minute of it, she says. And she just gets out of the confessional and walks away. At prom, she goes with Bill. He gives her a ring. She asks him if he would go and get her some punch. When he returns, she's gone. She's not where she was when he left. Bill asks one of the guys there at the prom if he has seen her. And he says, yeah. She went behind the stage with Cooper. So Bill goes back behind the stage and he catches Mary Lou and Cooper making out.
Because
Bill's upset. They've been dating a year and she has never let him get that far.
Yeah. He totally palmed her.
Poor Bill. She's been holding out on him. So Bill says, well, you need to come with me because I brought you. And she says, it doesn't matter who you come with, but who takes you home. Mary Lou is named Homecoming Queen.
Homecoming Ho.
Bill is enraged. He takes a stink bomb out of the bathroom trash, lights it, goes up above the stage, and drops it onto Mary Lou.
Okay, so these kids are trying to they're in the bathroom, they're like, oh, we were going to stink bomb the place, but we decided not to, or something, and...
The principal's onto them.
Yeah.
There are two boys that always get into trouble, and the principal had eyes on them the whole night. So they decided instead of getting in trouble, they would ditch the stink bomb in the garbage because the principal was onto them. They didn't want to get caught with it.
And then Bill's like, well, he's enraged and he thought it'd be funny to stink bomb Mary Lou during her
Well, I don't think he thought it would be funny. He was trying to humiliate her like she humiliated him. So he took the stink bomb and he went above the stage where they were announcing the prom queen. And as she was on the stage, he was going to drop it down and let the stink bomb go off around her and humiliate her. Well, it didn't work out that way.
Well, to go find out, the stink bomb is actually a road flare in this case.
So the stink bomb stayed lit, and it caught her dress on fire.
So we come to our first kill. Mary Lou goes up in flame. Ooh.
Right. And
so I give that a 3.5. It's sort of a stupid way to die.
it is. So Bill's screaming above the stage. Cooper is screaming at the stage. Everybody's freaking out, but nobody does anything. This is what I don't understand. Everybody is freaking out, but nobody does anything.
Well,
and Mary Lou is there on the stage, engulfed in flames.
Well, she doesn't even stop, drop, and roll. If you're ever on fire, stop, drop, and roll. And who knew that dress was made of the most
Flammable.
the most flammable material there is known to man.
Yeah, well,
I mean, it must have been a derivative of gasoline at this point.
In 1957, they didn't have this knowledge,
Okay, but alrighty. Yeah, I understand what you're getting at. It's just this flame was just like extra sprayed down with flammable materials on it. It was coated in gasoline to give it that chic.
In the next scene, it's 30 years into the future. There's a young lady named Vicky. She argues with her mom over getting a new prom dress because she was nominated to be one of the prom queen contestants.
So they're trying to do this sort of like Carrie-esque type thing in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you caught that or not.
Yeah. Her mother is a very much
devout Catholic, like stereotypically
she's a very,
devout.
Yeah, the church, spare the rod, spoil the child type mentality. And the father just wants to, I guess, be a good dad, and it's his only child, and if she wants a new dress to go to prom, then he's fine with that, within reason. And the mother's just like, you already have a dress.
She's trying to be...
There's no need
No,
for
it's
you
not
to
even
know.
the dress thing. It's that she's trying to be... She's strict for no reason to be strict.
Mm-hmm.
It's just...
Just to be mean.
Yeah, that's all it is. And they're trying to... And they're trying to make this sort of a Carrie-esque type movie. The mother is extremely strict.
Mm-hmm.
But it really doesn't work with the father figure there.
Right.
So...
Vicky and Craig, who is Bill's son, are dating. Vicky was voted for one of the prom queen contestants, but her mother thinks her green dress is good enough. She doesn't need a new one. Bill is the principal of Hamilton High School. He wants his son to go to a good college and make something of himself. Vicky goes to the prop room to look and see if she can find a dress to wear to the prom. She finds a pretty blue dress in an old trunk, which she forcefully opens. When it opens, the class picture in Bill's office, the glass to it cracks right over Mary Lou's face in the picture.
So I really don't understand why they even left this trunk in there. This, like, Mary Lou trunk. They're just like, so this chick died and burned up in her, during prom. Let's just keep the trunk here.
Vicky finds inside the trunk the 1957 Homecoming Queen's sash and crown, plus the cape.
Was it?
There was a cape.
Yeah, okay.
Bill feels weird things are happening. He drives by the church and gives Cooper a strange look.
Because Cooper, in the, palming Mary Lou before she died, has become a celibate priest of the Catholic faith.
Yep.
So, we forgot to mention, with Vicky, she also has a good friend, and who is, googling and goggling.
We haven't gotten to that yet.
Okay. No, they were... Whatever. They were in the same room when they were doing the dress thing?
No, they haven't.
All right, fine, whatever.
You talking about her friend Jess?
Mm-hmm. The one that looked like she liked to sock it?
Yeah, with the big hair?
Yeah.
Her friend Jess wasn't in the prop room when she tried on the dresses.
I thought
She's the one that gave her the idea to do it.
Oh.
Because she told her she was just going to see if they had any dresses in the prop room that she could wear to prom.
Oh, okay. Okay.
She gave her the idea.
For some reason, I was thinking she was there.
Now, when no one was at the school, she tried on the cape and everything, and that's what brought about.
Yeah. Still doesn't make any sense.
Is that what made you think?
Yeah, I think maybe I was just...
Okay, moving on. Okay, like I said, Bill freaks out. He thinks weird things are happening, so he drives by the church and he gives Cooper a strange look. Jess is upset, so Vicky comes to console her. She tells her she really likes this guy, but he quit talking to her, he quit calling her, and she found out today that she was pregnant. The janitor tells Jess, I'm done cleaning the floors. Lock up when you're done.
Okay, this is a school.
Yes.
And here's the janitor, the last adult at the place going, whatever, kid, just lock up when you're done. Number one, who stays after school till the janitor's done janitoring?
Yeah.
Number two, this is okay?
How can a kid lock up when they're done? Does she have a key to the school?
I guess. I feel like the director at this point forgot that he's filming about high school students.
Yeah, this scene really kind of made me scratch my head a little bit too. I was like, what just happened?
Hey kid, whatever you want to do, just lock up when you're done.
Okay. So Jess says, well, okay. And starts playing dress up. She puts on the 1957's cape, prom queen 1957.
Hint. Something bad's gonna happen. Hint.
She starts examining the crown and decides to dig out one of the jewels. This is not a good idea.
No, I don't even understand why she's digging out the jewel. She's like... She's just, I'm just going to dig this out.
I don't know. So, Mary Lou is still around. Her spirit hasn't left the building, so to speak. It's still kindly ensconced with these objects, and she gets very upset about Jess digging around and disrupting the crown by pulling out one of the jewels. So she decides to seek revenge on Jess, and she proceeds to hang her by the cape.
Okay, but this whole scene is visually like what is going on type thing. Mm-hmm. Because number one, it totally leads you into a direction we were sort of hoping it would go, but it didn't, and that irritated me. But there was no reason why there was a whole bunch of shredded paper being blown around.
Yeah.
Did you notice that? It was like shredded paper blown everywhere, and then it drew her underneath that big paper shear thing that they used to have in schools. I don't know if they have them anymore.
No.
The big paper cutters. Mm-hmm. That is like also works as a guillotine.
Yeah.
And
those things will cut anything.
So it drags her underneath the guillotine like paper cutter, and you're like, oh yeah, finally a movie that uses this thing. No.
Yep.
And it.
So it goes to hang her with the cape. When that didn't work, like you were saying, it attempted to cut her head off with the paper cutter.
No, it hung her with it finished her off with the cape. She got hung by the cape. By a magic cape.
Yeah, but that didn't work.
Yeah, it did.
It didn't kill her all the way.
No, it did. She didn't.
Then why did it throw her out the window?
It was done with his toying with his plaything. I don't know.
So it attempted to cut her head off with the paper cutter. It decided not to do that for some reason.
This is a very indecisive killer ghost.
I don't know if it just didn't want to risk damaging the cape or what was the case. So it hung her by the cape. I don't think it killed her all the way when it did that. So it decided to make sure that there was a permanent solution. So it just chucked her out the window.
Yeah. So
This school is like 3 or 4 stories high. So, you know.
So we have kill number 2, death by magic cape. I give it a 2 because I should have killed it in the head.
Cooper is praying and looking at a picture of Mary Lou. He's got candles lit by it.
No, he has a shrine of Mary Lou.
Yeah. And
I'm pretty sure that's a pretty sticky area right there.
At this moment, the picture falls off the mantle. In the next scene, Vicky comes to the school and finds out Jess is dead. Vicky walks around after Jess's funeral and happens upon Mary Lou's grave. Vicky gets upset that even after Jess dies, the prom is still happening.
Wasn't she brought into question did you know that she killed herself or she was suicidal or something
Right. The only person that knew that Jess was pregnant was Vicky.
Mm-hmm.
And Vicky was like, I don't see why, knowing this information, why she would do something like that. And people looked at Vicky like she was crazy.
Yeah.
Nobody else knew that information but her.
Yeah.
So from the outside, other people may very well have looked at Jess like she was kind of unstable because she was acting kind of erratic and everything because
they're trying to...
she was upset due to her being put in a very stressful situation.
But, I mean, she was portrayed also as the general, the general angsty artist type character.
Right, well, she was kind of an outcast.
Yeah. Who liked to lick light sockets because of big hair.
Vicky starts hallucinating. She gets lunch and heads...
Okay, this scene is really sort of cool. Mm-hmm. I really enjoyed this scene because, number one, school food is disgusting. Especially when they actually cook the school food. Not give the Dollar General crap, but they actually cook the school food.
Yeah.
And, you always had that soup of mystery soup. That thing of mystery soup in the winter.
Back in the day when you could actually go in a cafeteria and smell food.
Yeah. Yeah. It might not have been the best quality, but it was food-esque. Definitely food-esque. More food-esque than it is food-esque today.
Yeah. So she goes in the cafeteria. She goes to get her lunch. She looks in the soup and she sees a head floating in it.
Well, even the lunch lady is this, she's in this green light. She the typical.
She goes to get a drink at the water fountain, and the water turns to blood.
Yeah, but I mean, the lunch lady, big old mole, green light. Would you like some sloppy Joe with that? Rawr, type.
You really have problems with sloppy joes, don't you? Your mother has really traumatized you with the sloppy joes.
I have nightmares of sloppy joes. I have sloppy Joe nightmares. They're a bit sloppy. I don't know where I was going with that one at all.
You're like I'm extra sloppy.
No.
In the next scene, it shows Vicky arguing with her parents about her plans for her future. She storms off into her room.
Like every angsty teenager.
Yeah. In gym, Kelly throws the ball at Vicky's head, and she hallucinates that people were surrounding her chanting, Mary Lou.
Prom night 2.
Bill goes down to the prop room and sees the trunk is open. He abruptly closes it. Craig takes Vicky home. Her mother says she just needs to spend time with the Lord.
Yeah, again, with this whole super Catholic woman. But the volleyball thing was really cool because she was backed into the volleyball, which turned into like a spider web that she got wrapped around.
She backed into the neck?
Yeah. Like, the visual, the creepy visuals are really genuinely creepy, so...
Yeah, her mother says she just needs to spend time with the Lord. She goes to confession and tells Father Cooper about her hallucinations.
Because Jesus heals all. Hallelujah. Jesus heals all.
Bill burns his class photo. Vicky goes to lay in bed and draw. She drops her pencil, and when she gets up from picking it up, she looks back at her drawing, and it changes from her to Mary Lou. Mary Lou possesses her rocking horse.
No, I thought it was a carousel horse.
It is, but you can get on it and rock. It actually rocks.
I just thought it was a little weird that there was a carousel horse in her room. Because I want a carousel horse. But this carousel horse is a bit rapey.
Yeah. It likes to lick your fingers. Suck on them. It likes to get slobbery with the fingers.
I like them finger tenders.
Vicky went to Mary Lou's grave at night.
Always at night.
Father Cooper did also. He tells her it's cold and late. Her mind is playing tricks on her. Father Cooper tries to cast Mary Lou out, but it doesn't work. He makes a visit to Bill to talk to him about Mary's being back. He tells Bill that he must take communion in order to protect himself. Craig picks up Vicky the next day, and she is physically shaken and unsure how to explain how or what has happened. Kelly offers to pay Josh off for her to be named prom queen. Now, Josh is the guy back in
He's
the early 80s, and before that, it was very common for high schools to have like a DJ type artist who would play music throughout the day, mostly in the morning times. And that individual was responsible a lot of times for taking photographs at events for schools. They were responsible for keeping track of popular groups and photos and documenting events.
He probably was also like the president of the AV group and the. I mean, he knew his way around a computer.
Right. But basically, that individual was responsible for highlighting entertainment at the school, whether it be over the intercom or keeping track of that as far as documentation for yearbooks and things like that. That was all encompassing around the 1980s and before that. That individual did all of that. Yeah. They were the main person that took care of it, but they did like DJ type stuff and photography and all of that. But anyway, that's what Josh's type position, job, whatever you want to call it. That's what his.
He got.
So Kelly offers to pay Josh off for her to be named prom queen. Kelly spreads rumors about Vicky to help her odds for the prom queen votes. Kelly hallucinates in class and Vicky hallucinates in class and backhands Kelly. I mean, she smacks the woohoo out of her.
Okay, so I have a weird question for you. What was up with the shoulder pads back then? Like, this chick, she was rocking some shoulder pads, like almost football pad shoulder pads. I don't understand if they thought that was sexy back then to look like a quarterback, or what the heck was going on with that fashion in the 80s.
I don't know.
It was just a very weird time. The big hair, the teased hair, the
I really don't know why it was such a big thing.
The only thing I remember about that time frame...
Maybe if you made your shoulders look bigger, it made your waist look smaller.
You know what they were really good for? As I remember as a child growing up in the 80s, they were really great for pillows during Sunday at church. I'll be honest. My mom used to have those on, because they're the thing. And I used to fall asleep on her shoulder, and I would fluff those things up and just fall asleep on the shoulder pads. That's the only good I think came out of those things.
Okay, then. Vicky hallucinates in class and backhands Kelly. Vicky has detention. The teacher steps out, and Mary Lou has fun with her and starts writing on the blackboard. Then pulls her through it. Mary Lou comes out of the trunk in Vicky's body.
But the blackboard also works as a wall swimming pool at this point.
Yeah, it's very interesting how they did it. So it turns into like this liquid pool, basically. It's black, like a black liquid pool. Mary Lou pulled Vicky through it. And when Vicky got trapped inside there, Mary Lou walked out of the trunk, but when she walked out, she was in
Vicky's body.
So, Mary Lou in Vicky's body, she goes to confession, and she breaks through the confessional, and she kills Cooper with a crucifix.
So, we have, kill number 3?
I think so.
Yeah, so... I thought he was strangled. What did I put strangled? It was pretty vicious attack, though. So I give it a 4 out of 5.
And Vicky, well, looks like Vicky, but it's Mary Lou, goes to school the next day dressed in a poodle skirt. Well, without the poodle, but, and a sweater. Josh says Vicky has been possessed. Monica gets freaked out in the showers. Vicky chases her. She hides in a locker.
Well, okay, but Vicky, Mary Lou is trying to seduce Monica in said shower. And we get our first titty rating. But it was one of those, is it a titty rating or not?
You don't really... I mean, you see them, but it's kind of, foggy, so you don't really get a great view. But if you want to go there, go there.
I give them a 3 out of 5. They're a bit saggy, but they were... When you saw them, they were decent to look at. I mean, there were breasts.
So they're Vicky's?
Yeah, they're Vicky possessed by Mary Lou.
I didn't think hers were saggy, but okay.
Well, I mean, they hung a little bit. I don't know how to explain
How
it.
could they be hanging? They're so small.
Yeah, but I stand by my rating.
Okay. I'm not going to argue with you about boobs.
But... So she tries to make out with Monica and
I think she was just trying to psych her out, really.
Yeah.
She was just trying to mess with her.
So, Monica... Did she hide into... I was sort of confused by this, too.
She got inside a locker to hide from her.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then...
So... what Vicky / Mary Lou did was she hid in a locker, so she smashed the lockers together with her inside.
Yeah, and this is where the movie takes from a, like, it stops being creepy and starts being more funny with this kill. So, kill number 4, Monica in a can. Give it a 3.5 out of 5. She was crushed and goo comes out. It didn't even look like blood. It looked like goo. It was sort of funny because she said, "Ba-ba ba-doo." Vicky says, "Ba-ba ba-doo," as the thing crushes. And again, you don't know what's going on, and you're starting to really feel like a real disconnect with this whole movie, which I'll explain in the trivia thing. But, so now she has superpower. Like, what is the extent of the superpowers? Because now she can push concreted lockers together. Okay, go ahead.
Gotta find my place again. Okay. Vicky gets dressed and leaves like nothing ever happened. Vicky and Craig make out. Vicky / Mary Lou kisses Craig. I'm sorry. Vicky / Mary Lou. She's at home. She gets ready to go to the prom. She tells her father goodbye, but she does it in such an odd way. She very passionately kisses her father goodbye, like an open mouth kiss.
Well, she wants the daddy D.
Her mother walks in the room as they're kissing, and she flies off the handle. Mary Lou Vicky finished kissing her dad. She walks downstairs, and her mother's like, "You're not gonna leave." She does this hand gesture, throws her mother through the front door. She walks over her, and her father tells her she looks beautiful and kisses her on the cheek, and she says, "I love you, Daddy," and she leaves.
Like nothing ever happened.
Bill questions his son Craig and knocks him out, and leaves to finally take care of the mess he created 30 years ago. He goes to Mary Lou's grave and digs it up, only to find Father Cooper inside. Everyone is starting to show up to the prom. Bill brings his handgun and the 1957 prom queen crown. Kelly gives Josh a blowy in order to ensure her place as prom queen. Too bad Mary Lou knew what he was up to. She realized he was up to no good, and when he was at his computer and was about to type in the information to change the name of who the prom queen was going to be, she reaches down to some electrical wires and shocks him through his computer.
Well, he got hacked.
Yeah, he seriously got hacked. And it shows him like jerking and twitching and going all neon.
So this is the first time the Russians hacked our election.
Happened a long time ago. So, needless to say, Vicky was declared the prom queen, and Kelly was none too happy that she sacrificed her minty fresh breath.
For salty fresh breath?
Her boyfriend, although...
He enjoyed it.
He thought that she had some good tasting breath.
And he wanted some of that that liquid...
Don't. Bill went above stage. He shot her, and Mary Lou, he shot Vicky in the back. Or was it in the chest?
It was in the chest.
It was in the chest. Okay. Vicky fell down on stage. She fell on her back. After he shot her, Mary Lou climbed out of her chest like the freaking alien climbing out of someone's chest. It was creepy.
It was actually really cool. What are you talking about? It was bloody and gory.
It was really, for a horror film, it was really awesome. But I was like, I mean, it went from this little bitty bullet hole, and it was big enough for a person to stretch out of it. So I was like, you know, it just showed that little bitty bullet hole, and then it slowly got bigger, and then a person climbed out of that tiny bullet hole. So it was like, what?
Yeah, it was.
It was something.
Yeah.
Just as Vicky gets shot, Craig runs to her side, yells for an ambulance. So at least Craig, out of all these other men that these women have had, Craig is going to do something. Okay. Mary Lou throws poor Craig around until Bill crowns her with the prom queen crown from 1957. The trunk slams
shut. The trunk slams shut.
Craig opens it
because
and he pulls Vicky out.
Yeah, okay, so it slams shut, and then so he gifts her at the beginning of the movie with, and you were asking, what does this have to do with anything? With this golden cross necklace.
Yeah, he gives her a cross necklace. And you see when he pulls her out of the trunk that it's kind of dangling there at the opening of the trunk. He pulls her out of it. At the very beginning, they're having this little date at the local diner. And she's always nagging him about, you're putting all that sugar in your coffee. That's going to kill you one day. That stuff will kill you, you know. So Craig asks her, do you take sugar in your coffee? Well, and she says, no, that stuff will kill you.
Because later on, when Vicky took over...
When Mary
Lou took over Vicky's body, they went back to the same diner, and she put a crap ton of sugar into her coffee, more than him. Like, it was mostly like coffee flavored sugar at this point.
Right.
And so he knew something was up, but didn't know what exactly was up.
Right.
He just thought it was maybe like the month liquor thing.
This was when she had changed how she was dressing, and you know, so he knew something was going on with her. Okay, Craig opens it, pulls Vicky out, asks if she takes sugar in her coffee because she always tells him when he puts it in his, it will kill him. She says, no, that stuff will kill you. Bill takes Vicky and Craig in the car, locks them in, and says, they are playing our song. It implies a sequel.
Well, he turns over, and in Mary Lou's voice, he says they're playing our song, and then laughs, and then there's a ring that he gave her.
The ring that Bill had gave Mary Lou, he's wearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he had locked them into the car.
And then drives off, and then the license plate says Mary Lou 2. And so, what do you give this?
I think I give it a solid 4.
Yeah, I'm there too. This overall is pretty boring, in my opinion. But there's a lot of like really interesting.
There's a lot of little nuances to this film.
But the best parts are the horror sequences where you think she's like, I'm losing my mind type thing. That was the best. It was very Freddy-esque.
Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street style. It looks like there are two different movies mashed into one, and only parts worth watching are the really creepy bits. If the movie didn't have these creepy bits, it would be horribly boring. So, but that's the part worth seeing. Mm-hmm. The dialogue is pretty interesting, and so, so there's a reason why it seems like two movies are matched together.
Why is that?
Because when they were done with filming the movie, I think it was like Nightmare on Elm Street, something came out. I forgot exactly which one. And they thought they were going to not be able to compete with it because they're coming out within like either similar or very close to that month. So they did very similar theatrical with the cutting. So after the post-production, they reshot a whole bunch and took out parts of the movie and just spliced the other ones in there. So literally, and it was by a different director. So it literally is two movies spliced into one. So
interesting trivia from Hello, Mary Lou, Prom Night 2. And the name of this movie is just it's funny.
Dr. Seuss-esque.
Almost every character in the film shares a last name with a cult film director such as Wes Craven, Stephen King, George A. Romero, and Ted Browning. Though the movie was filmed in 1987, relics from the film could still be found in the junior high school where it was filmed. Mary Lou Maloney is the only character to appear in more than one prom night film. Brock Simpson is the only actor who appears in all 4 prom night movies. At the time, Mary Lou's death was the longest running fire stunt in any movie. The phone number Mary Lou writes on the confessional booth for a good time call was actually screenwriter Ron Oliver's phone number at the time. No one called.
Oh, nobody would have a good time with Ron.
Written and filmed as The Haunting of Hamilton High, the title was changed to Mary Lou's Prom Night 2 by the Samuel Goodwin Company, who purchased it and decided to market it as a sequel. I think that the title they changed it to has a better ring than The Haunting of Hamilton High.
I do like Mary. Oh yeah, and this was not, like they said, this wasn't supposed to be in the prom night, the prom sequel of this prom series.
We originally were going to do The Craft, and we decided to change it to
because that one's well known and not and good. We have to go with bad and not well known.
Yeah, it's kind of what we do. We don't do well-known good things.
Well, that ends the Craft review. The Craft is a good movie, and overall, I give that a 4.5 out of 5. And I think it is a great cult classic. So there is my review of it. What's yours? So 2 for the price of 1.
We're not doing that movie.
No, I'm just saying.
We decided not to.
No, I'm just saying. What would be your on the Craft? What would be your rating on it?
We're not doing that one. We decided to do this
one. Okay. I was just trying to do a 2 for 1 for our listeners. It's a BOGO.
It's a BOGO. You wanted to do this one. You liked it.
No, I was just. But I gave my review, my final review of the Craft. What's your final review of the Craft? What would you score it as? Just give out
no comment.
Okay. So this one can be found on YouTube. It is it's worth a watch, just for, like I said, for the creepy bits. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think they did a really good job for a lot of things. I don't really think there's any part that kind of drags or anything, and there's several peaks of interest there. So
it
keeps it going.
And it has a good usage of seriousness and humor. Some of the things that sort of bothered me, like I said, was what was the extent of her supernatural powers? Why were they keeping onto the chest? What was the power of the chest?
I don't think it had any powers. I just think that they kept it to keep the contents.
Yeah.
It was just something to keep the prom queen 1957 stuff in.
It just...
To lock it away.
And were prom queens at that time also Superman? So
Why did they have a cape?
yes.
Maybe that's why they had supernatural powers.
Yeah.
Because they had capes.
Well, I mean, it was just sort of weird that they had this trunk in there from a dead prom queen. I just thought that was odd. But and then that Vicky was rebirthed from it. So
It's interesting.
that is the end of this review. We have next month coming up. And so there's that. Again, we have a Patreon that if you want to support us, we would very much appreciate it. But we're not going to try to be e-beggars, so this is completely up to you. We'll still continue doing this. Something we enjoy. We also have... You can follow us on our social media, Twitter, Instagram. We really don't do the Facebook thing anymore.
We have it. It's there.
It's there. We just don't really post much to it. We're more active on Instagram and Twitter. And if we get enough people, we will be more. We could do a Discord if there's interest in it.
Luna has her own YouTube channel. If you guys are interested in watching her videos.
Yeah. If you didn't know, we are also on iHeartRadio now. So, and on Stitcher and many, many other platforms. We thank you for all listening to us. And if you haven't told your friends, or the guy next door, or the creepy guy 3 doors down, or the guy that's looking at you right now with his binoculars, why don't you tell him, hey, you should also listen to the In the Eyes of Terror podcast. Yeah. Or at least hold a sign up. It says, hey, you should listen to these guys. They're funny.
I'm not a guy.
Or chick. But you don't have binoculars staring at it across me from the street.
Do you think people are staring at us with binoculars?
No, because we have the internets now, so through our webcams.
No, I don't think people are staring at us with binoculars. I hope not. I think I need to put tape over my webcam.
I've always been being really paranoid about that myself.
I was like, if people are staring at us with binoculars, the Luna would be barking at them. So I don't think they're doing that. But they could be staring at us through our webcam.
So, hello to the people staring at us through our webcam. Hi, how you doing? You should listen to us.
I never thought about that.
Other than us being really creepy all of a sudden. Yeah, I mean, we would love to hear from our fans. Or listening, just drop us a line and go, hey, we enjoy listening to you, or hey, get better, or whatever. We did have a review. It happened 2 weeks ago on our YouTube, which I haven't even checked the comments because no one comments on our YouTube.
Yeah, it doesn't happen often.
But on our most popular review on YouTube, the Soul Tangler. If you have yet to listen to that one, do it. I think that's one of our earlier ones, but it's one of my favorites because it's a really great crappy movie. And somebody gave us on it, and it was very heartwarming, that they said that they wish that our commentary was on the new release of the Blu-ray of the Soul Tangler. And I'm like, well, number one, I need to get that release of that Blu-ray.
It's out on Blu-ray? We need to get that.
Yeah, like one of the features is that it has like 60 extra more minutes of awesomeness. And that means, you know what that means? Once we get
it's like a whole new movie.
Yeah, once we get that movie, we get that Blu-ray, we're going to have the Soul Tangler revisited extra 60 minutes.
We're going to have more to talk about.
Because it's going to be the Soul Tangler. And that's awesome. So, well, we're done with prom night.
Yep.
So the gym goes back to wearing gym clothes and sneaking up the place. The balloons are deflating. You realize that it was just a stick with some balloons on it. The DJ was overpriced and only played crappy music. And you spent way too much on You spent way too much on that dress and that tux rental. Now's the after party, I guess, right?
Yep. Or you go home and
Vigorously masturbate.
try to get the punch stains out of your clothes and
Take a shower because it's hot and sweaty in there.
try to guess what the other person's thinking, I suppose, because, you know, teenagers like to over-examine everything. Whatever.
Yeah. But my thing is, don't drink and drive. Be smart. Be safe out there. So, that's the end of our podcast. Next month is Mother's Day and Easter and April Fools.
Oh, yeah. The Bunny Day. We're all about the bunny movies. Lots and lots of bunny movies.
So it is Bunny Jesus laying eggs.
No, it's not. The Bunny Man Massacre.
I know it. I'm joking.
I don't joke about the Bunny Man.
I know.
Don't joke about the Bunny Man. There's no joke.
Well, we'll be coming back at you, and we could all praise Zombie Jesus, and we'll be back.
That's very disrespectful.
All right.
Scary later.
Bye.